Hey YouTube, how's it going? We've got RLCS top 10 power rankings for you all today. We're going to break down who we think are going to be the most successful in Raleigh. We've got our 16 teams going to battle. We've got a list of 10 that we think are going to take it towards the top, and one honorable mention, which I think is up for debate, but I really didn't know who else to put there. If you guys haven't seen these in the past, let's take a peek before we dive in. The way that I order these is kind of with the mentality of where they will end in the bracket. You're going 2-3 Swiss. If you're 8 through 5, you're going to the quarterfinals. These four most likely to beat you in the quarterfinals. That being said, I have made this statement numerous times, and for some reason, people in the comments still never hear it. If you are in top 8 at a LAN event, you are very likely to win. It all comes down to how do you prepare. How are you feeling on the day? Are you feeling mechy? Did you wake up? Are you feeling a little sluggish, a little sleepy? Maybe you stayed out a little bit too late. Maybe you were down at the hotel bar a little bit too long. Who knows? All I'm saying is that I think if you make top 8 at a LAN, you are just as likely to win as anybody else. While we do have some more favorited teams, depending on who's feeling it on the day, can go and take the whole thing. Top 8 means you are worthy of winning the whole thing, in my opinion. That's how I feel. It's very competitive in the world of Rocket League. I think you can make some serious adjustments up and down based on where you want to put these. There's also a lot of question marks that we're hoping to answer at Raleigh heading into Worlds. There's going to be 2 LANs that we get to watch. We got Raleigh. We've got EWC for the top teams of their region, the top 4 that are going to Worlds. There's a lot on the line. We're going to talk about that because we forgot to do it in yesterday's video. That being said, first things first, honorable mention. We're going to give it to the guys because we know they can perform. It's Twisted Minds. As a team, they've proven that they are capable of going and competing. I think they've personally regressed a little bit. They don't look as good. They're not as competitive against Falcons. I think Mina in general has not really improved. They've kind of stayed the same. But Twisted Minds in particular, we've seen them have pop-off potential. We know Nalpo is great on land and can do his thing. It's going to really come down to Atomic and Rise. Can they be assertive? Can they make sure those touches are clean? I've seen some sloppiness from Twisted Minds. That being said, I know they're capable of much more, especially in a LAN environment. At number 10, a team that I don't know how to rank them. Primarily because I think Gen.G has proven consistent now. There's been a lot of teams that we've been talking about. I don't know what they're looking like. I don't know how they're going to perform. Within their own region, they've proven that they are a capable top 4. They have definitely shown that they are the 4th best team in that region. Magic Bear and Cheese have done well on land. I think they've really come into their own. I think Justin is finally in an environment with coaching and staff that's supporting him in the right way. Selfishly, as I've said, I want to see this team top 8. I want to see Justin in front of a crowd. I've talked to Cheese about this, and he and I joked, and I'm like, dude, you ready for the backpack of Justin on land? He's like, dude, I can't wait. I'm so excited. I think there's a lot of potential. To me, if there was a one dark horse team, obviously they have a big fan base, but if you're going to pick one dark horse to play upset, I do think Gen.G has that potential. You got a lot of LAN experience with Justin. He's been there, done that. He's proven clutch in the biggest moments. I can't tell you how many clips we could be playing right now of him just hitting a shot when it's needed most. Game 7 OTs, this, that, or the other. But I don't know what it's going to look like on LAN. I'm very, very excited to watch this team. But Gen.G to me is a very solid, hey, you got to get through them if you're going to do anything major. And there's a very good chance that they play upset. I would not be surprised if you find a Gen.G consistent top 6 in international competition, but all depends on how the Swiss Sage goes, what their matchups are. I think this is going to be the most competitive LAN we've ever seen. I think NA is finally sending 4 solid teams. EU as well. It's going to be super competitive. Very excited. Number 9, similar regards, but in a very different atmosphere, is Space Station. I'm finally putting them on my top 10. They took 4th place. They took 2nd place. They took 3rd place. Or 1st place. 3rd? Yikes. They've taken 4th, 2nd, and 1st. They have shown improvement throughout the entire season. Their playstyle works. We talked about at the very beginning of the season that your expectations for them should have been whatever they were doing, just more consistent. With Kofor coming in, he plays a very similar style to Frosty. He's more bought in. He listens better, from what I've heard. He also demos a metric fuck ton. He demos so much. Still not as much as a Tau. It's still a lot. Space Station to me, though, is unproven. I don't know what they're going to look like on LAN. I don't know if they're going to revel in it. I don't know. But historically, we have seen new teams new rookies come into LAN that are young that do flourish. They don't really feel the weight of what's going on. They don't feel the consequences. They don't feel like, holy shoot, pressure. This is RLCS. This means everything. They don't really feel it. I feel like that's a little bit of it being ego, which Space Station definitely has a little bit of ego on their team, which you need to be a pro player. And then you've got veteran experience. Xperi's been there, done that, especially with the Team Liquid boys. He knows exactly what I think to expect with this team. I'm pretty sure they have a mental coach as well that they cover. So Space Station to me is only upside. I think they are better than Gen.G. I think they're more dynamic. And I think if they can recreate their playstyle online, if they're feeling mechanical and they're doing their thing, this is a very threatening team. Their playstyle, the demo heavy, in-your-face mechanics, if you can do it on LAN, could play very big upset to a lot of teams. If they don't regress, and the fact that they get to scrim against top-tier teams as well, I'm very excited for Space Station. The only reason I have them lower, I just don't know. I don't know. I haven't seen it. Excited to find out. Number 8, dropping down a little bit, rightfully so, is the Ultimates. Ultimates have not looked stable. They have not looked consistent. They have regressed from 2 down to 4 in their own region. They're conceding games against some of these other rosters. They have not had the polish. With that said, we have veteran experience. We know they can compete in live environments. There is a little bit more history with them. Last major, they did go all the way to the grand finals, albeit some teams were playing lesser. That being said, we know they are capable of doing it. We also know that FK just can't seem to close it out. Unfortunately, the reality, they can't win. I don't know what it is. But if I was a betting person, I would expect Space Station to overperform Ultimates, but I have to go with what is proven. The track record is there. If you're asking me head to head, pull the trigger, who's doing it, I'm gonna personally bet on Space Station. But for ranking purposes, I have to go with a little bit more solidified, a little bit more grounded approach. Number 7. Along that same regard, I'm gonna go the opposite route. I'm gonna stop using my head. I'm gonna use my heart here. And I'm going with Mates. Listen, I like this team. This team's really dang good. I've seen Juicy on LAN before. I've seen Seiko on LAN before. And tell me you haven't heard of a French rookie coming on LAN and having an incredible performance. Tell me you haven't heard a French rookie that looks like a veteran out of the gate when given the opportunity, that performs well and plays assertive and does their thing. Mates looks good. They're going toe-to-toe against the best team in the world. They're putting up aggressive play style. They're not falling behind. While they haven't been able to do all of it yet, I remember, and by no means is this a comparison to Raleigh, but I remember when Raleigh came into BDS, he came in, he sat back, he was a little bit patient. You know, he didn't make mistakes, similar to Zen as well. He just played solid Rocket League. And then as he got more and more confidence, you started seeing him go for the crazy plays. You saw him hitting the flip resets. You saw him playing the offense. Eugen's doing that exact same thing. Do I think Mates will win this entire event? Probably not. Because there is a rookie, and it is different if you've never been there before. But if you don't think that Mates is not going to look like, I think this team is so dangerous and so good. Watching them under a microscope and doing some replay analysis on them, their challenge game is incredible. They're patient. They know when and when not to go. They fake challenges because it's not worth it. They don't go for stuff they don't have to because it's a wasted boost. They play smart Rocket League and they pair it with some really good aggression. Mates is going to be good. I have a very good feeling for Mates, but there is still some hesitation just because it is a bit unproven. I would assume, and that's why they're in the top 7, I would assume Eugen's going to live up to that hype and that expectation at LAN, but you just never know. I would not be surprised, and again, any of these teams that make top 8, I wholeheartedly believe have a chance to go and win the whole thing. That's why part of me wants to swap these two. Part of me wants to believe in Space Station, but I think the veteran presence is fair to put them. And it's tough. It's tough. Number 6, and some reasoning behind this one, is Furia. Furia, to me, since Moist and the big upset that they had in Fort Worth, we haven't really seen Furia beat the top teams. They have conceded in the big troublesome matches, and the only outlier to that is Vitality. When they play in Swiss, Furia and Vitality play in Swiss. Whoever wins in Swiss concedes in bracket play. It's happened like 4 or 5 times. It's insane. One of these two teams just, there is something to be said of, hey, we play this team. They showed our exploits. We make those adjustments. We come back and win in the best of 7, which is crazy. But outside of that, when Furia does not play Vitality, when they do go up against the other teams in the top 4, they concede. They lose. They just haven't shown that they have that extra mile that they need. Again, I think teams like Furia and teams like Falcons and so on and so forth have become a bit complacent. Not in the sense that, maybe complacent is not the right word. They haven't improved. I haven't seen growth out of them. They're competitive. They are good teams. Top 6 in the world is not a slight by any means. But I have not seen them beat the top dogs that continue to push the standard. The NRGs, the K-Corps, the so on and so forth. So it's very difficult for me to put Furia ahead when it's like, hey, who are you beating? You're going to 7 against Vitality, who's looking kind of iffy at times, and you're still barely winning. To me, that's not a good look. To me, it's very difficult for me to put you on the upper echelon or in that top half when those problems are happening. Ironically enough, right before them, and some people may give me flack for this, is Vitality. Vitality is dropping. Vitality is still faltering. I do, and I will say, I'm going to still believe in them performing better on LAN. I do think they are a LAN team. But that being said, Vitality has not had the same polish. I have seen this before where Monkey Moon and team look a little bit rough, and then when it matters most, they go on and when they win a world championship. The difficulty is they've got teams like K-Corp in their way, so I don't foresee Vitality doing it this time. I think Raleigh is going to overtake Monkey Moon as the multiple 2-time world champ in open era, back-to-back even if I had to bet. I think Drolly's going to be that guy. He's going to be the new GOAT conversation. Like, Drolly is him. That's no question. I mean, shoot, the guy, when he's missing a double touch, is even making sure to air roll his car so he can pogo off the back wall so he can recover better. Like, the guy does no wrong. It's crazy. And you're still dealing with the Tau and Vatira. Like, guys, we all know it. It's no surprise. Like, K-Corp's the best. That being said, I think Vitality, as much as I want to continue to believe in them, I think they're going to be competitive. There's too much talent and too much aura on that team to not be a top 8 conversation. But if you're telling me, hey, who's going to win? I think Mates can play upset. But realistically, Vitality has proven that they're the better team. I don't know how these teams are going to match up against Vitality, but I do think a team like this that can cause disruption could beat them. That's why we have them in the... Like, this area is very tough for me, and the same thing applies to the next one with Falcons. Falcons, to me, is still winning their region. They're still solidified there. They're still super cohesive. They play a very reliable and very consistent game, but I haven't seen the peaks out of them. I haven't seen the overwhelming, like, holy shit, look at Falcons, here they come. I just haven't seen that. So it's tough for me to do that. But because of the faltering Vitality and the regression that I've seen, in a head-to-head, I don't know who wins that. In a best of 7, I would probably pick Vitality because I do think they can make better adjustments and have a better performance. But at the same time, maybe Falcons doesn't give them the full 7 because they're playing more stable and more consistent. And Vitality can't play catch-up. To me, this would be an all-time match. If Falcons Vitality played, I'd be ecstatic. But I think it's tough. I think these ones are really tough to pick. 4 to like 9, 4 to 10, I think is up for debate and up for discussion. I think 1, 2, 3 is very, very easy. And number 3, you got to go Dignitas. Dignitas has proven that they can go toe-to-toe. Consistent, top 2. They're the second best team in EU right now, and I think that's solidified. They have surpassed Vitality. I wanted to be a little bit patient on it before I moved them up too far, but they've done it. They've proven it. And even though Mates is actually taking games off of K-Corp and Dignitas isn't, Dignitas played a very close series. Like 1-goal games, OTs, like it was close. So I think Dig, I do have some concerns with them on LAN environments. I've seen some problems here and there, but I will say Stizzy's really coming into his own. Yoris is having a bigger impact, and Jack is consistent as always. So if Dig can provide the same level of play after having to wait another month, I'm very excited. A lot of time is going to pass between now and Raleigh. It's a long ways away, still boot camps and everything else. It should be very exciting. And as you guys know, the best team in North America is NRG. Energy K-Corp is what we're expecting in the grand finals. Whether it happens or not, who knows? We did see Energy falter last time, but it seems like they've kind of found their footing again. Looking a little bit more stable. The best team in NA. I don't think there's any arguments about that. Talent-wise across the board, whether it's Daniel in his decision-making or Beast Mode in his offensive play, or Thomas' consistency and ability to shoot the ball on target. Like, take your pick. But Energy is a good team. No doubt about it. They've proven it. There's not really a counterpoint that we have to really make. I think these three are pretty easy to pick. Unless you're just trying to bait impressions, looking at you, Johnny Boy. But outside of these three, I think these are definitely up for debate. How you want to order them, where you want to put them, that's entirely up to you. Maybe you put Furia ahead of Vitality. But I think EU is still better than NA. I know Vatira and Xperia have said that NA Online looks a little bit more solidified. I do agree. I think NA Online does look a little bit more consistent. That being said, I do think that if the teams are playing how they're supposed to and how things are looking, which, like, I would think Mates would take some of the teams in NA, like Ultimates. I think you could say the same about Vitality, even though they've been looking kind of hiccupy. So, I think NA's got really two good teams with NRG and Space Station. But below that, a little uncertainty, a little bit of roller coastery. K-Corp Dig look really solidified. I think Mates looks pretty damn good. Vitality is the only one that I'm kind of questioning. So I would give the nod to EU myself. But big upset potential in all of these. We'll see what happens. I'm very, very excited to see what happens in Raleigh. It's going to be the first time that I'm actually like, ooh, these matches are good. I can't wait to watch in a while. So I think we're getting our best teams ever. Top 16 going to Raleigh are going to be really exciting. Hopefully you guys have a good time if you go. We will be doing watch parties for it, but we got a lot to talk about before we even get to Raleigh. So you want to make sure you don't miss out on those conversations. Let me know your own top 10 in the comments down below. Hit up the socials while you're down there. Join the Discord. Hit up Twitter, all that fun stuff. But I'm out of here. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.
I think this night is turning out the way that we both